Hi, Shannon Jones here. So this week, Brad and I got our visas to move to France. They are long stay visas, which will allow us to stay for up to a year. And towards the end of the year, we will be applying to renew the visas. So some people have asked, what type of visas did we get and what was the process to get them? So let me start with this caveat. I am not a French visa expert, and there are many experts out there, but I did do a fair amount of research, and I can share with you a couple of resources that could be helpful for you if you want to get a visa. And I can share a little bit about the process that we went through to get the type of visa that we got. So let's start with this. If you want to get a visa, I would highly recommend going to the French government website. It is france-visas.gouv.fr. It has a lot of information about the different types of visas that are available and what the requirements are for each one. There are checklists, and there is a visa wizard which will ask you a series of questions and allow you to determine which type of visa may work best for your situation. Another great resource is Foolproof French Visas, which is a book. You can either get the actual book or you can get it in a digital version. And it's a thick book. There's a lot of information in there. So between those two sites, I would say probably most of the information you're seeking will be there. Some of the main types of visas that are available are student visas, working visas if you already have a job, entrepreneur visas if you want to have a business, talent passport visas if you work in some kind of specialized, highly skilled field, family visas if you have a spouse, a parent, or a child who is a resident already. The type of visa that we applied for and got was the VLS-TS, long stay visitor visa. And it's an inactive visa, which means we will not be working. So one of the things that was a component of our application was a written statement that we will not be pursuing employment while we're in France. And that's fine. We're happy to be sipping rosé in the garden, doing some traveling, doing some other things. What else did we need to provide along with our visa application and that statement? Financial documentation showing that we could support ourselves. For this type of visa, you need to show that you have a financial income equivalent to about the French minimum wage, which is right around $1,400 a month, or that you have savings equivalent to a year's worth of that income. You need to have a health insurance policy in place that meets the requirements that are spelled out on the visa website, and that does include repatriation. We included birth certificates, marriage certificate, bank statements, a letter from our financial advisor basically spelling out how we would be supporting ourselves. And then you need to have proof of accommodations. So if you own a place already, that's great. We have a lease, so we included that lease. But many people don't own a place and they don't have a lease. And so what do you do in that case? Well, many people will either book a hotel or an Airbnb, sometimes in blocks of a month that are cancelable, so that if they get to France and are then able to secure a longer term accommodation, they can then cancel the unused portions. So I definitely, if you're interested in moving to France, there are lots of options available for visas. And if you have questions for me, let me just say a little bit too about the process. When do you apply for the visa? How long does it take? So the thing that took us the longest, honestly, was putting together all of the paperwork. We had lots and lots and lots of paperwork. You can apply 90 days before you actually want your visa to start. So we want ours to start January 1st. We applied in October. And you go to the TLS website, and you'll find a link for that on the French Visas website. TLS is the company that processes the visa applications for the French consulate, and they have offices around the country. The one that we went to was in Los Angeles. That is closest to where we are in Long Beach. And so once you have paid your application fee and you've set up an account, you then set up your appointment. We went to our appointment with all of our documents, and they went through my documents first, and then they went through Brad's documents, and then we got photographed, and then we got fingerprinted. And that whole process for both of us was about 30 minutes. So it really was very fast, very efficient. And then they told us to expect that it would take up to 15 business days for us to get our passports back and our visa applications processed. It took 1 week from the time of our appointment until the time that we had our passports back in hand with our visas. So we were very impressed with TLS and the process. Again, if you have any questions, let me know, and au revoir for now.